Hey guys, Sindel here. Welcome to our challenge group. I am super excited to spend the next few weeks with you, really just diving in and focusing on our health and our nutrition and our exercise and just feeling good about ourselves, you guys. I'm super excited to spend this time with you and I want to thank you. Seriously, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. These challenge groups are what keep me going in my health and fitness journey. And if it wasn't for people like you, I don't know where I would be right now, honestly. I hope you know how important you are to me because, you guys, like I said, this is what keeps me going in my health and my fitness journey. And I want to share that with you. And I'm really excited that you're in this challenge group with me. So, I wanted to just do a welcome video. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself, kind of tell you about some expectations of the group and what you can expect from me. And it's just going to be a fun group, you guys. Like, that's going to be our number one goal overall. This whole time is just to make this a fun, just fun experience. So, anyways, a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name's Sindel. I am a wife. I am a mom of four. I am a labor delivery nurse. I have you guys, I have a pretty sweet gig here, like as this health and fitness coach. I don't know if you've heard if I did that at all, but I do this health and fitness coaching, which entails hosting groups like this. So that's kind of a little bit of background on what I do, I guess. But as far as a little bit about actually me, and how like this whole journey began, I guess, and I'll try to keep it brief. So I joined into my first challenge group after I had my third baby. So my little one would have been about 4 to 5 months old. And you guys, I was in a period in my life where everything from the outside looked really like everything was perfect. Like, I had three kids, I have a loving husband, I have a roof over my head, I have teeth in my face. I mean, really everything from the outside, it should have been just fine. Like, everything should have been just great. My baby was sleeping through the night. Like, I really should have had nothing to complain about. But I felt really empty inside. And one of the things I've noticed, even with these groups, is sometimes when you become a mom, sometimes we lose a little bit of ourselves. And not that we want to ever replace, being a mom. It's like sometimes we just get lost and who we really are because we're so fixated on taking care of our family. And that's the point I was at in my life. And I didn't even realize it. You guys, it's seriously taken me years to realize the point that I was at that moment. And I had no idea how much my first challenge group would change me. Like, I had no clue. So I honestly was probably fairly depressed. And I don't know, like, looking back, I can say that, but at the time I had no idea that I was really kind of going through this depression. And I don't know if I could be clinically diagnosed like with postpartum depression or whatever, but that's really truly how I was feeling. I felt really lost and I had no confidence. I felt horrible about myself. And I looked around at everything around me and thought I should be the happiest person alive because of all the blessings I have in my life. And I didn't feel that way. And when you don't feel that way, when you can look around and acknowledge all the amazing things you have and feel terrible still about yourself, that's not cool. Like, it's so not cool, you guys. So I don't know if you can relate to that, but that's the point I was at in my life. I was really unhappy with my body. I could not shake the baby weight at all. It was just not falling off. With my first two, like, it didn't come off really fast, but like it still came off. With my third, I couldn't get it to budge at all. And I was happy, like I kind of had resolved myself being happy with my mom bod. But really I didn't like it at all. Like, I think I would, I don't want to say I would lie to myself, but I'd kind of lie to myself and be like, I'm okay with my stretch marks. I'm okay with this extra weight. And I have a mom bod, so it's fine. This is what people expect. And then I would look at some of my friends that didn't have that mom bod or whatever and realized that I need to be doing something about it, that I can take care of myself. So I joined a boot camp group, a local group that's here in my hometown. And I'm from this teeny tiny town in North Dakota, you guys. So it was really nice to get to know some of these gals that were in this group. And I joined it for 1 month. I thought I was gonna die the first time I worked out with them. Like, literally, I was like, I have not ran in years. The last time I consistently had worked out prior to joining that boot camp, I would have been like in high school. So it had been like 10 years since I really had done anything consistent. I wanted to die, seriously. I was like, why am I paying to be tortured? Like, this is horrible. So during that first month, but I paid for it, so I was going to stick with it, okay? So I did this for a month. And then my little guy at the time, he was breastfeeding and he started waking up at the time that I'd go to boot camp. I would go to boot camp at 6 in the morning. So he started waking up during the time that I would go. And I was kind of like, darn, I have to feed my baby instead of going to boot camp. And I was pretty quick to be okay with giving it up. Like, that sounds really sad, but I really was. So, that being said, I just got this amazingly well timed invite from an actual former classmate of mine that was like, hey, I'm doing this challenge group. It's at home. It's all virtual. You can do the fitness stuff in your own living room. Would you be interested? And I was like, yes, I need something, because even though I'd been working out for a month, I was working out 3 days a week at that point. I really didn't see much change. And part of that was I had not even acknowledged my nutrition. And it wasn't that my nutrition was like the worst of the worst, because I was eating fairly clean, and that's a whole other story that I can talk to you guys about if you're ever interested in PCOS. But I just really didn't dial in like what good balanced nutrition was. And even though I may have been eating a lot of clean foods, I certainly wasn't getting in that balance that you need in order to make your body function the way that it's supposed to and burn off that fat. So I was like, sure, I'll join into this challenge group. Then as soon as she mentioned Shakeology, I balked. I was like, oh, whoa, no, I don't do shakes. Like, that's not my thing. And then I really felt bad, like turning her down. So I was like, fine, I'll do this for a month. It's not going to work. So I'll just do it. Okay, you guys, I seriously lost 10 pounds that first month. I was like blown away. And not only was it first month, it was a 21-day challenge. And I was like, whoa, I had no idea that I could change my body that quickly. And what really floored me, you guys, is that I had to eat so much more food. Like, I don't think I even realized how much I had slowed my metabolism down by eating off my kids' plates, like eating whatever their leftovers were. Or there'd be days that all of a sudden it was 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I'd be like, I haven't even taken a sip of water today because I've been so busy doing things with kids. And it wasn't like I was intentionally doing it. It was just like, that's what happened. And then I would binge like crazy. So then my body was like storing all of this not so good for me, probably food at that point, and just storing it because I had effectively slowed my metabolism down. So it was in survival mode. So I was beyond amazed at how much food I had to eat, and that I was actually losing weight. And I was breastfeeding at the time, and my milk production was great. So I was like, this is awesome. So I jumped in for round 2. I did 2 challenge groups right in a row. You guys, I did not cheat. I did the 21-day fix, did not cheat one time. And I lost almost 20 pounds, you guys, in that 2-month period. Like, it was crazy. I was back down to my high school weight, which I will talk throughout this group that the number on the scale doesn't really matter, but it was a number that I just never expected to ever get back to. And it was really fun hitting that number and then seeing it go up as I was gaining muscle. Like, it was just crazy. I had no idea that I could actually do this with my body, and it made me really, really proud. So I did this for 2 months, and then I jumped out and was like, I got this on my own. And I totally fell off the bandwagon, you guys. It was like, wah, wah, like, not cool. So I jumped back in and was like, okay, coach, put me in because I need to do this, because this is what holds me accountable. So I started coaching. Like, that's what I've been doing. So I started that the end of 2014, and I've been running groups ever since. Every single month I host a group, and you guys, this is what fuels me and keeps me going, like I said. So that's a little bit about me. That's kind of the long story. I kind of mentioned that I PCOS, so that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. So for me, being healthy is not so much about like, oh, looking good in my clothes, or, obviously that's a perk. That's an awesome non-scale victory, or, whatever. To me, you guys, focusing on my health is a lot more than it is just for maybe the average person, because if I don't take care of myself, I have a 50% higher chance for heart disease. I have like a 70% higher chance of developing diabetes. My cholesterol levels are already slightly elevated, even when I'm eating really, really well. That's just natural with PCOS, unfortunately. There's infertility issues that I've had to deal with. We tried for a year with our second, and I know for those that have tried a lot longer, that doesn't seem like a long time, but after 3 failed rounds of Clomid and being frustrated and talking about fertility specialists, and you have these emotional highs and lows, and I'm not one that likes taking medication, you guys. I hate taking medication. It was really hard. So to me, it's a little bit more than just, fitting into my clothes and being confident about myself, though those are huge parts. Like, you guys, I cannot tell you how the first challenge group I ever hosted, I remember my husband telling me, or he asked me, excuse me, he said, do you feel more confident? And I was like, Oh my gosh, I do. I feel so much more confident in myself. You guys, I'm a natural introvert. So sometimes when people see me face to face, they expect me to be like really super talkative. And sometimes I am. But sometimes I'm really shy. I like that just kind of, it depends on like, I hate to say it's the mood, but it kind of just depends on what's going on in my brain at that moment. So for me, there's a lot of times that I go into my small town grocery store and I have a hard time making small talk with people. But they kind of you're kind of expected to, but I found myself after doing that first challenge group, I could easily do that, you guys. I could approach people. I all of a sudden had a voice and I felt good about myself and I had energy and I could keep up with my kids. And that's like what it all came down to, was being able to actually keep up with my kids and being confident in myself and being able to say that I'm doing everything I can to live as long as I can, because I want to see my grandbabies be born and I want to be able to run around with them. Those are the things that I want to do. So I hope this kind of inspires you a little bit to think about why you're doing this and what your goals are. So that's a little bit about me. Sorry, I said I would try to keep it short and now I'm just rambling. But let's talk about expectations for this group. I want to tell you guys, I do not expect you to be perfect. I will never expect anybody to be perfect in these groups. I said that I did the 21 day fix and I did not cheat at all. That took some serious willpower, you guys, and that's just my personality. I know not everybody functions that way. I'm very much an all or nothing type of person. Not everybody's that way. So I do not expect you to be perfect with this group. What I do expect though is that you show up. I expect that you show up every day, even if you've had the crappiest day, you guys. I just expect you to show up, check in, say, hey, how's it going? This is how my day went, and let us either cheer you on or pick you back up. If you show up to this group and you participate, I promise you, just trust this process. You're gonna get closer to your goals. You're gonna hit your goals. It is gonna happen. But that's kind of what I expect from you guys. So not a huge expectation. We're going to do a check-in every night. It's just going to be a quick 5-minute fun check-in, see how you're doing, how your day went. And then from me, what you can expect is that you're going to see some type of motivational, inspirational, educational type of post in the morning. There's going to be something that's coming through from me. And then I'll be commenting and answering questions throughout. And I'll try to share the knowledge that I have. If there's something specific you want me to address, please let me know, because I'll be happy to address it. But this group's going to be fun, you guys. I'm very excited that you're in this group with me and that you're just helping push me to be the best that I can be. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but really, truly, that's what this is all about, is just being our best selves and just loving on ourselves. That sounds kind of selfish, but you guys, I'm not going to lie. You can't pour from an empty cup. So we have to take care of ourselves first so we can give more to others. All right, now that I've rambled, welcome to the group. Peace out, guys. We'll talk to you later.